What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin podcast. Today, specifically, we doing that for about an hour just because there was a lot of news. It was franchise tag day, not just for the Giants. Why is my hat not straight? Sit straight. Bet not just for the Giants, but literally for every NFL team. There was a lot of franchise tags going around today. A lot of NFL news, quite a bit of Giants news, of course. Leonard Williams, he's being set to be tagged. I'm not sure if it officially came out yet. Last time I checked, the official Leonard Williams tag hasn't happened yet, but he's set to be tagged. So there's that. Of course, there was the press conference with Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge earlier today as well at around like 12:15. It was a press conference. I can't necessarily say it was a good press conference, but it was a press conference. I mean, some of the questions don't really make sense to me. But let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Logan's Giants Zone, Mike Nixon, Jaden the Champ, Football Talk with Benny, Joe Yaddo, Sugar Tots, Jaden. Did I already give a shout out to Jaden? Yeah, I already gave a shout out to Jaden. Joseph Balby, Evan Pittsburgh. Thank you for letting me know, Evan. He says we have franchise tag Leonard Williams, so there's the official thing right there. C Bands, also known as Bradley in here. Kid Zeke, what up, guys? Football Benny. The call in is gonna be at the regular time as it is every Tuesday. It's gonna be 9:30 tonight. What up, Michael? What up, Hakeem? So yeah, drop your questions. I'm gonna be on here for about an hour. We could talk whatever. So my general opinion on the Leonard Williams franchise tag, as of right now, I think it's set as a defensive tackle franchise tag, right? So that means he's still under the $20 million mark, which if I wanted them to re-sign him, me personally, I was like, I don't want to give Leo more than 20 mil because we're just not in a position to give him more than 20 mil. So this is essentially, the franchise tag for a D tackle. It's essentially a 1-year deal for $19 million. I don't know the exact decimal point what it is. It's 19 point something mil. That's where it is right now. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine that we franchise tagged him. I'm fine that he's at that price point. It's still in discussion, I believe, with the NFLPA, between the Giants and the NFLPA. They're still trying to have that debate to get Leonard Williams as a defensive tackle. That is, Leonard Williams' party is trying to get that, obviously, because that means he's going to get more money. Then it's bumped up to like 20-something mil, and that's when I become a little bit more iffy about it. In general, the franchise tag gives us a couple way to go with this. Well, the first way, obviously, is that we have him for one more year. We have him at a price that I wouldn't necessarily call reasonable, but once again, I like it just because it's below 20 mil, and you got him for one more year, he could play that. Another possibility is that this is just, so that they have more time to work out an actual extension with Leonard Williams. They could place the franchise tag on him so that he's just so that they could work out like a 3-4 year deal with some more actual money involved, and maybe they just didn't get it going for whatever reason. This could be that. Or the third reason, which I think is the least likely of all of them, is that they tagged him because they're trying to get a trade for him, and this is a tag and trade scenario. Shout out to everybody that just tuned in as well. I see Scotty H in here, Jason Allen, Steven Guarci, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Sonny D in here as well. Jay, the Giants fan. Yeah, Jay was in here yesterday talking about that we were going to franchise tag Leo. And that's basically my thoughts on it. So let me see if you guys had any questions while I was giving that spiel real quick. Yep, you were right about that, Jay. Michael W says Kenny Golladay is a free agent. Yes, that's one of the franchise tags that did not go out today. In fact, the franchise tag deadline is technically until 3 o'clock, which is like a half hour from now, but Kenny Golladay is going to hit free agency. He's going to be a wide receiver that officially hits free agency. I think Allen Robinson was tagged, and Chris Godwin was tagged too earlier today as well, right? So those were the top three, the three best receivers out there. One of them hits free agency. The other two do not. PJ says Golladay isn't going to be tagged. Do I want him? I don't want Golladay, and it's not because I don't believe in him. I think that he's a great receiver. I think he's 100% could be a wide receiver number one, but we kind of said this on the podcast last night. For a price that we will be giving Kenny Golladay, right? He's going to be signed to like an 18, 19 mil, maybe even $20 million deal. For the price that we're giving him, he's not going to give me enough performance for me to be satisfied with it, right? I'm going to be paying him 18, 19 mil. He's going to be performing like Kenny Golladay, which is great. But the receivers that are being paid 18, around that $20 million mark are guys like Devontae Adams, guys like DeAndre Hopkins. Like, for the price that I'm paying him, I don't think it's going to be worth it. That's the reason that I don't want Kenny Golladay. You know what I'm saying? And let's see what else the chat got here. C-Ban says Kenny Golladay is being tagged. We obviously tagged Leo. Do you take Golladay and backload or go with a cheaper option with Samuel? At this point, guys, and I think I've had this feeling for a while now. I think I've said this feeling for a while now. At this point, I would rather just not sign any receiver in free agency, get your receiver in the first round in the draft, and get another one in like the 4th or the 6th for depth, because we need outside wide receiver depth. We got good depth with the slot guys, and really many receivers can play the slot. So we have good depth in that sense, but we don't have a legit number one. We don't have a legit number one outside guy, and we definitely don't have any good outside wide receiver depth. We're kind of a little bit shallow there. So at this point, I'm really on the boat of just get both of your receivers if you are getting multiple receivers in the draft. Otherwise, I'd be down for, like Kid Blue had in his video, signing a way, way cheaper option that's definitely more of a depth guy, a 3rd or a 4th guy in Josh Reynolds, who is a good outside receiver. But once again, he's depth. It's not like we're going to be signing him for him to be the number one or anything, right? But that's where I'm at right now. Joel Yato says, with Leo tagged and letting Dalvin walk, defensive edge could be in the play in the first round. Well, it's not official yet if we are going to let Dalvin walk. By any of you that listened to the press conference, the way that Judge spoke about Dalvin, it sounded as if they were going to let him walk, though. I'm not going to lie. It sounds exactly like what a coach would say when they let go of a player. He was like, Dalvin's a great guy. He's a great dude. We wish we could have him back here. We hope everything works out. Like, that's the language he was giving out. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, man, that's probably a sign that Dalvin Tomlinson's not going to be back. It's just the language. I was trying to take it apart a little bit and listen to what he was saying. And it's like when an employer speaks about their employee that just found another job or something like that. You know what I mean? That's what it sounded like. Steven says, we got to trade or cut Solder and Ingram. I would love to trade Evan Ingram. If we could get a 4th for Evan Ingram, done deal for me. Not only does it free up like that $6 million cap space, but we're actually getting something for Evan Ingram. If we could trade Evan Ingram, man, just go ahead and do it. Solder, ain't nobody going to trade for him. Just cut him straight up outright. And depending on how active the Giants want to be in free agency, that's going to determine whether or not they're going to do the post June 1st thing. The thing is, though, with the post June 1st, free cap space, we won't be able to use it until after June 1st, 1. And 2, I think some of the cap hit then goes into next year's cap space. But completely agree with this. We're going to have to find a way to get these dudes out of here somehow for the cap and, for our sanities and whatnot. What up, Sonny D? How you doing? C-Ban says, why does Leo Williams have this thing with money? He should just accept it. I'm sure that the Giants will have him a good offer and he wouldn't move to a different state. For those of you that don't know, on Leonard Williams' Instagram, right? On Leonard Williams' Instagram, if you guys follow him, he went and he liked a comment. I don't know if it was on the NFL's post or on somebody else's post way earlier this morning when he was tagged. Somebody commented, this move is an L. He's going to be gone in a year or something like that, or he's going to leave in a year. And Leonard Williams liked that comment. I don't know if the comment's still up, but on Instagram, you could check who liked it. If you go and check it, the Leonard Williams official Instagram account liked that. So I'm not sure if that means he doesn't want to be here or if it means he really, that's what C-Bands is saying, he's just really all about the money. I want to say it's the second part. It's really all about the money because that's going to be the only thing, right? He's probably just wants an actual extension and not a franchise tag. Even though the franchise tag is all guaranteed, right? I think the franchise tag is all guaranteed. I might be wrong about that. Jay says, the Dolphins and Giants seriously eyeing Kenny Golladay after they didn't franchise tag him. Jay, you got to let me know what these sources are, man. There's a lot of sources out there that's saying a lot of things. I would be seriously surprised if the Giants are eyeing Kenny Golladay, though. I know we recently added somebody to the front office who was a former Lions front office personnel. And that got a lot of people thinking to themselves, does this mean we're going to be targeting Kenny Golladay? Does this mean we're probably going to be targeting some of our old defensive guys like Kennard and Okwara? But there is a little bit of a connection there, but I'm going to need to know who your sources were. Let me scroll down here. What up, Moses? How you doing? What do I got to say about him? About who? Or was it Golladay? Was it Dalvin? Was it Leo? Let me know who. What up, CJ Talks Movies in here? Let me keep scrolling down. Jason Allen said, did you get to watch the Getty presser today? I was. I'm glad somebody brought this up, right? Kim Jones was straight up unprofessional and disrespectful, all right? Yeah, that's not how you conduct an interview at a press conference. I don't know why so many people, and there's a lot of Giants fans on Twitter that were absolutely like praising her and absolutely saying, "Yeah, you go, Kim Jones. You're asking the questions that we want to ask." In my mind, when I saw a tweet like that, I'm like, so you, in your mind, you were asking, do we have a young O line? First of all, let's talk about the question she asked in the first place. Do we have a young O line or something along those lines? 5 out of the 7 offensive linemen on this team right now or what you would define as young guys, like in their third year at the most. I think Will Hernandez of those young guys is the oldest that we have. He's only in his third year. The other 2 of the 7 being, of course, Nate Solder and Kevin Zeiler. Even if you include them, by majority rule, 5 of 7, you have a young offensive line. I feel like that's common sense. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the way she literally came at Dave Gellman's neck, and I found it funny. But I'm at the same time while it was happening, I was like, "Yo, isn't that kind of unprofessional? It's definitely a little bit rude, but it's like really unprofessional." And then people on Twitter, some of the Twitter brigade was really a fan of it, and they were saying once again, these are the questions we were actually asking. I'm like, stop lying to yourself. You just like to see Dave Gettleman get like roasted and yelled at. Nobody's out here asking, do we have a young offensive line? Because everybody knows we have a young offensive line. That's just my take on it. Maybe you guys have a different opinion as I'm continuing to scroll down here. And yeah, that's how it's going. So if you comment something right now in live time, I'm probably going to get to it in a couple minutes because I'm just scrolling down and trying to address as many questions as I can. Sonny D says, can we afford Galladay? Do we have money left after Leo? Good question. I don't think we can, which is why another reason that I'm thinking to myself, I don't think Kenny G is really going to be a legit target for us, in my opinion. That's just me, though. Let me keep scrolling down here. Caden Talk Sports. Caden Smith is in my mind because I'm thinking about Evan Ingram. Sign Corey Davis and draft a corner. I've seen a lot of people starting to get on the board or get with the idea of signing Corey Davis, specifically Corey Davis, the wide receiver from the Titans. That's a free agent now. And while I'm not completely on board yet, if we were to sign a wide receiver, I really would prefer to sign a guy that's cheaper than one of the top tier guys that's going to command around 20 mil. Corey Davis is still going to command a good amount of money. We're talking at least 10 mil, I want to say, between 10 to $12 million, which once again, how much cap space do we really have after the franchise tag for Leo kicks in? Like, they actually have to make space for the franchise tag to kick in. I think we need $9 million more of space to be made, and then Leonard Williams will officially be on the franchise tag. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong, but we're just strapped for cap space in general. Do I like Xavier Rhodes? I don't like him. I don't hate him. I haven't particularly looked into him for the Giants, though, although I know he's been a name that's been thrown around. Jay, I think I already highlighted this comment beforehand. Let's see here. And Joel says he could see the signing about Corey Davis. Shout out to Matt88 in here as well. And whoa, it just scrolled all the way down for no reason. Okay, there it is. I feel like teams would give more than a fourth because other teams don't hate him and undervalue him like we do. Are you talking about Evan Ingram? If you're talking about Evan Ingram, I'm 100% taking a fourth. And how do you mean we undervalue him, bro? This man for us hasn't been good. I 100% believe he could be a beast somewhere else where he's not the number one target. One of the main reasons I think Evan Ingram struggled this year, other than the mental gymnastics he was probably having going on in his head, is that he was the number one target for this team, for this particular offense. I'm not sure why it worked out the way it did, but he was the number one target, and he didn't flourish in that situation. But I think if he goes to another place where he's not that, where he's the number 2, maybe even number 3, he's going to be an absolute beast, right? But it also has to come back down to he has to get over whatever's mentally going on in his head. What up, Cowboy X Factor, Cowboys fan in here? They did finally sign Dak Prescott. I did the entire live stream last night was like half of it was about the Dak Prescott deal. Absolutely massive deal. It's all right, Cowboy X Factor. No problem. Thank you for showing up today. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Shout out to Bobby Murphy, an Eagles fan in the chat. He says Dak is wheelchair. Well, Bobby, you're lucky Wentz isn't on your team anymore because one of Wentz's nickname was Wheelchair Wentz. So it is what it is. Matt88 says, I hope we sign Galladay, but we probably won't. I mean, Galladay is a great receiver. Once again, where are we going to get the money to do it? Because we still got to free up money to do the Leonard Williams tag. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. The Mook Man says, I wouldn't trade Evan Ingram until day one in after day one in the draft, maybe even after the second pick. If you're able to get baby Gronk, then trade him for a third or a fourth. That is risky. I think you should say if you're able to get if you're able to get a third or a fourth, then trade him. Because I really don't. I mean, if we could look at teams that need a tight end right now and that would probably, be interested in giving up a third or a fourth for Evan Ingram, the teams that come to mind for me are the Saints, but that completely depends on what they would do with their roster and their cap space. The Patriots, the Panthers. I really think the Panthers could be a dark horse trade partner for Evan Ingram. I forgot who their tight end has been over there. They've had the same guy for the past 3 years. I'm forgetting his name. He hasn't really been, like an elite tight end, but then again, their wide receiving core is pretty good. So there's that. But the Panthers, and in the fourth round, they pick like 4 picks ahead of us, I want to say. So that could be a really good trade partner for Evan Ingram. The Bills, obviously, because a lot of people have them taking Freiermuth anyway. Like there's a couple guys out there that could trade for it. Let's go down here. Tudo, what's up, Tudo? He says, "Ciao, my Giants best paisano. How you doing, fella? All players in the NFL are about to get the money hub. Of course, forget about it. Thank you, Tudo, for tuning in all the way over from Italy. There's gonna be a bunch of players getting their money. We already saw a good amount of franchise tags being passed out today, and just popped into my head. We saw one trade today. There might have been another one, but we saw one trade today. The Patriots and the Raiders. The Raiders trading offensive tackle Trent Brown to the Patriots. I'm not sure what the details of it were, but that's what it is. Hey, shout out to Fisk in the chat. What up, Fisk? He says, Leo messing up the cap. Big facts. We should have let him walk. Leo and the cap. We have to free up $9 million more. We have to free up $9 million more to get this man, like, Jesus Christ. $9 million more. Like, think about that. And I had some fans in the chat asking whether or not we could sign Kenny Golladay. I don't think that's happening, man. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? That's just it is what it is, man. Where the press conference at? The press conference already happened. It took place at 12:15. And I already talked about the Kim Jones thing. Another thing I didn't like about the press conference in general was like, some of these questions really made no sense to me. They were asking some questions where it's like, do you really expect Dave Gettleman to actually throw his players under the bus? Like the Daniel Jones one, they asked Joe Judge that as well. I'm like, do you expect the coach to throw his quarterback under the bus? Do you expect the general manager to throw his quarterback under the bus? Same thing with the O-line. And I think there was one with Saquon or something like that. It was crazy. Fisk unit is indeed in the chat. Jay the Giants fan says, according to the Miami Herald, Adam Beasley and the Miami Dolphins and New York Giants are expected to show serious interest in the wideout once free agency begins. So Adam Beasley, let me check that guy out. Who is that? Who is Adam Beasley? Is he reputable? I'm hoping he is, because you've been telling me a couple times in the chat right now that Adam Beasley, well, he got the verified check mark on Twitter. Yep. He does seem to be a legit guy. I mean, I'll see, but I don't know. Dominic says, tell me if I'm wrong. Gettleman was trying to save his job by paying Leo. If we let him walk after all we gave up for him, it would be a bad look on Davey Boy. I disagree with that, because all we gave up, as you say there, your exact words, all we gave up, we only gave up a third and a fifth. And for a third and a fifth, we got an 11.5 sack season. I think that's actually a trade that's more in our favor than anything else. You know what I'm saying? If we let Leo walk, we get a comp pick as well. So it's not like we're gonna let him walk and we get nothing. So in fact, if we let Leo walk, we basically get back what we gave up to get him, and we got an 11.5 sack season out of it. So technically, we really don't lose anything if we let Leo walk. You know what I'm saying? When you really look at the technicality of it, we don't lose anything. So I'll say that's why I kind of disagree with that. Just a little bit. Big facts. Go over to Fisk, sub him up. He has the General Fisk channel. He has the Fisk Vegas Blue channel, among other things. And then once again, StreamYard just absolutely put me all the way down to the bottom of the chat. So I lost a couple of your questions. It does that every now and again, guys. So I'm just going to highlight whatever's here. Shout out to David AV. He changed his profile picture. Shout out to Nikki. What's up, Nikki? In the chat as well. And Nikki, by the way, is my first ever member from way like 6-7 months ago, bro. Amazing. Industry Plug says third and the fifth is draft capital, though. It is draft capital. I agree with you, but we're gonna get like the third back from that draft capital. Sure. So okay. So let's say this. Let's say we let Leo walk. All we lost from that trade was a 5th-round pick. Be honest with me. Are you really that angry that we lost a 5th-round pick if we let Leonard Williams walk? Because once again, we traded a 3rd and a 5th to get him, right? We got an 11.5 sack season out of it. And if we let him walk, we get a 3rd-round pick back. So we lost the 5th-round pick at the end of the day for that trade. I'm going to need to know if you're actually going to be just, a little bit peeved off about that, because I wouldn't be if all we lost is a 5th-round pick. Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Mike. Great support of the channel and member. He says, Art Stapleton officially announced on Twitter just now the franchise tag has been placed on Leonard Williams. So there you go, guys. Earlier today, it was announced that it was going to happen. Now it has happened. And what this means, once again, is one of 3 things. He's going to play on the franchise tag, or it's a tag and trade scenario, which I think is the least likely of all of them. Or, get this, or it's just to extend the negotiation times. We could be sitting here, because March 17th is when free agency officially begins, right? So they basically have, a week. They have 8 days, actually, from now. We could sit here, and by the time next Wednesday flows around, all of a sudden it's announced, the Giants have announced that they have come to terms to a 4-year, give me a number here, 4-year, like $80 million deal with Leonard Williams, locking him up for like until 2024 or it's 2020. No, it's 2021 until 2025, right? And we could be sitting here and doing that. And in that case, the franchise tag is taken back. We'll see what happens. How do I member up, Caden? There should be a join button, like right below where the like counter is. There should be a join button if you want to member up. Thank you if you do. But yeah, that's where it is. Blizz is asking, who is Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones, as of right now, my guy, as of right now, Daniel Jones is the 2nd best quarterback in the NFC East. Okay, and if Dak plays on one leg, which he's probably not because he's had so much time to recover, he'd be the 1st best. But he's the 2nd best quarterback in the NFC East right now, man. The Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles don't got a quarterback to speak of right now. That's all I got to say, my guy. That's all I got to say. So real quick, we might be getting a guest on here, bros. Let me go over to Instagram. Let me send him this link. We might be getting a guest to hop on. And yes, indeed, it was the guy that you saw in the chat earlier. But, all right, I sent him the link. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Kyle Pitts, Michael B says, is fire. But Brevin Jordan from Miami is a 2nd or maybe even 3rd-round pick. That's also fire. Brevin Jordan is, I think, just the 3rd tight end in this class, right? And it's funny because, like, each tight end, like the best tight end in the class, which is highly regarded as Kyle Pitts, he's a 1st-round guy. Pat Fryermuth, who people regard as a 2nd tight end in the class, is a late 1st, early 2nd guy. And then Brevin Jordan, who people regard as the 3rd tight end in this class, is that 3rd-round guy, maybe. I find that kind of funny how it fell. And shout out to him. He's in here. General Fisk, Fisk Vegas Blue, and Fisk Vegas Reacts, guys. Go check out all 3 of his channels. Fisk, what's up, man? How you doing? Now, you were not happy about the Leonard Williams tag.
No, I'm not, man. It was just why I'm happy. I'm going to be going to the gym soon because I need to blow some steam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cut straight to the point. Listen, Hub. The fact that we had to cut $9 million off of players just to even tag him should be a sign that we need to let him go. He's not good enough of a player to handicap our cap like this. He's not that good. And even if he is that good, his job isn't to get 11 sacks. His job is to open up holes for Lorenzo Carter and Frackwell for them to get the sacks. He's a 3-4 defensive end asking for Aaron Donald money. Stop it. He ain't worth it. Shaq Barrett is on the market. He's worth 20 plus. Judon's on the market. Give him 20 plus.
No, okay, stop. We're not giving Judon 20 plus.
Nah, but Judon can cover too, though. He can rush the passer and cover. So
Fisk, you know who Engraven is? Engraven Vids?
Sounds familiar.
He's like the biggest Ravens YouTuber on here, right? I had Engraven on the podcast a couple of days ago, specifically to ask him about Matt Judon. He's like, Judon's honestly worth like 12 mil. He's not worth 20 mil. And that's a guy who obviously he watches, Judon weekly. He does what we do. He tries to do that for his channel and whatnot. So if I hear that from a Ravens fan, that's telling me something.
What about the other pass rusher, the one that just hit the market too? Not Shaq Barrett, the other guy, Jesus, the other edge rusher. He got released. He got I drew a blank. I just talked about it in my video. There's 3 premier pass rushers on the market right now, all better than Leonard Williams. No matter how you feel
So
about
Barrett, who else is on the market actually? Why am I blanking too? I know there's a couple guys on the
there's
market.
another good one on the market, and I blanked on him.
Chat, help us out here because I'm
I just did a
actually
whole video on the guy. It's Shaq Barrett and one more edge rusher who's nice.
Let me actually go to your channel right now. You put it on General Fisk or Fisk Vegas Blue?
It's all my Giants contents on Fisk Vegas Blue. It was
Shaq Barrett. You mentioned Matt Judon, but like I just shot him down.
Nah, the video I just did about Leonard Williams. There's another pass rusher who didn't get tagged. There's another.
Bud Dupree?
Yes. Bud Dupree works out with Saquon in the offseason.
Yeah, bro. When that happened, that was the first thing I brought up. And Nikki, I highlighted your comment, Nikki, to remind myself. I'm gonna get to it after we finish the Leonard thing, bro. When I saw that, the first thing I said in my video, I'm like, Saquon is recruiting. He's not doing this just because he's like, oh, this dude has a fellow, he's a fellow ACL tier guy. Nah, he's actively recruiting Bud Dupree, and I would love if Bud Dupree comes here.
I would rather have him than Leonard Williams.
Me too. You got no complaints there. Bud Dupree
Jack Barrett,
is a monster.
Bud Dupree, I would definitely rather have over Leonard Williams, and I think we need a Matthew Judon on our team. We need a solid. We don't have an outside backer. We run a 3-4 with no outside pass rusher. That's not possible.
I think if we have Bud Dupree, I'm comfortable with Lorenzo as that second guy.
But my thing is, why can't we just sign Dalvin Tomlinson and go get a pass rusher? Let Leonard Williams walk. Sign Dalvin Tomlinson for like $10 million cheaper, because if Leonard Williams wants $20 million, we can get Dalvin for like 12 because he said he'd take a discount. Mm-hmm. So we can give Dalvin 12. We can go. That gives us money to go pursue Bud Dupree, Shaq Barrett, Judon. I'm not even going to talk about Kenny Golladay just for the simple fact that a report came out a couple days ago that said the Giants' main priority this offseason is an edge rusher. They're not pursuing offensive weapons during the free agency. They're gonna.
And I agree with that because you could get the cheaper wide receivers.
Yeah, they want to draft his skill positions. So if the Giants are trying to get an edge rusher, why are they wasting all this money on Leonard Williams? If we we've already tagged Leonard Williams. He's got us by the balls, Hub. He's got us by the balls because we have.
I'm gonna say this
now,
bro. I'm gonna say this. There's 1 of 3 things that's gonna happen now. He's gonna play on the franchise tag. Or they're just using this for more time to negotiate, or it's a tag and trade scenario.
They got a week, Hub. They got a week.
Yeah.
They got a week. Free agency starts in a week. We can't go on a free agency.
What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think they're gonna?
We're gonna break the bank on him. We're gonna give him $100 million contract, and he's gonna have like a $15 million, like a $10 million cap hit or something stupid. They're gonna give him like kind of like Dak. Dak is getting $41 million, but only has a $15 million cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna give him a huge signing bonus because what is that getting? Like $76 million this season?
Exactly. It's a $66 million signing bonus, and then I think the first year he earns up to 75.
So we'll give Leonard Williams like $100 million and give him like 60 guaranteed to lower his cap hit. He's got us by the balls. Now that we franchise tagged him, we have no choice but to give him the money within a week, not 2 months from now.
What's to say that a team doesn't approach us and be like, we're looking to trade since you got him on the franchise tag?
It's not about that. It's about Gettleman. Listen, I got another video dropping in an hour, right? About Evan Ingram. Hub. Judge has a crush on Evan Ingram, and Gettleman has a crush on Leonard Williams. Those 2 players are the gold standard in the front office. There's under no circumstances will we let Evan Ingram go, which means we're definitely not drafting Kyle Pitts. Judge loves Evan Ingram too much to draft Kyle Pitts. We're not letting Leonard Williams go. So the only hope we have, oh my gosh, it just dawned on me. We're going to sign Curtis Samuel.
I think we're going to sign Corey Davis more than Curtis Samuel.
Because I don't want Corey Davis. He can't stay healthy. At least Curtis Samuel plays.
Yeah, but we're talking about what we think the Giants are going to do, right? I would prefer Curtis over Corey as well, But for some reason, I got a feeling we're going to sign Corey Davis. He's been connected to the Giants surprisingly more than Curtis has.
And I think, because you know what's going to happen? Once we give Leonard Williams his money, I don't know if we're going to have, we're not going to have enough to get a premier pass rusher. So they want to get an edge rusher, which we need an edge rusher because we can't draft that. That's the position that
not
at
this
11,
year. Not this year, yeah.
Yeah, not this year. So I don't understand why we can't just sign Dalvin Tomlinson and then go pursue Bud Dupree. Why can't we do that?
I agree with you, Fisk, because guess what? I was a fan earlier was telling me that he's scared that Gettleman is trying to save his job by keeping Leonard Williams. And my response was he doesn't even need to save his job because if we just let Leonard Williams walk, we still get a third back. So essentially, we lost nothing in the trade and we got an 11.5 sack season, which is why I'm like, there's no actual consequence to letting Leonard Williams walk because we get a third pick back. That's how I look at it.
But it has nothing to do with him saving his job. He's only here because Judge wants him here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way, because people all offseason were saying that Judge and the coaching staff are going to have a big say in what we do, and they only say that when they do something that they like. But whenever they do something that they don't like, they all put all the blame on Gettleman. This was a Gettleman and Judge move.
Yeah, like this is Judge's team. This isn't a situation where they don't care about freaking Gettleman. He's only here because Joe Judge likes working with him. It's the only reason why he's here. He's not here because he's doing a good job. If Joe Judge says, no, fire this guy, I want the GM who they just signed in Houston. If Joe Judge 4 months ago has said, I don't want to work with Gettleman, let me go pick a GM like Andy Reid and the guy in Seattle do, he would have went and got the guy from New England. And that New England GM will be our GM instead of being in Houston. But Joe Judge, he likes Gettleman, and that's fine with me. I ain't got no problem with Gettleman. It's just this Leonard Williams situation. He's had 2 good seasons his whole career. He has a track record of not being able to put together 2 back-to-back
So basically, you just
what
praying right now that we trade this man is what you're praying for right now.
Honestly, no. I'm praying that we get the contract done in time for free agency because I know we're not trading. Gettleman wants him. He wants him. We're not going to move heaven and earth and cut all these people to free up cap room to franchise tag a player and not get it done. I just hope we get it done within the week. If it was up to me, I would let him go. But I just hope we get it done within the week so we can have a shot at free agency.
Well, what are you looking to get in free agency though? Because like we already agreed that the wide receivers are kind of out of the question.
By the 17th. That's the first free agency, right?
Yeah, 17th.
But here's the thing though. It's not about what I want, it's about having options. So you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear me?
Oh, there's a bit of a lag, but I can hear you. Yeah. Can you see me thumbsing up? Me? Can you see? There's a lag, but can you see me thumbsing up?
Yeah. It's not about what I want, Hub. It's not. Oh, I hear your thumb. Yeah, I see your thumb. I see your thumb loud and bright, whatever. But one of the players are going to get cut. Look at Kiffin. It's a premier corner. Stephen Gilmore. He's not going back to the Patriots. So it's not necessarily about, I want a receiver or I want an edge rusher. It's Leonard Williams. And then you got these other idiot Giants fans out there who want to bring back Leonard Williams and Dalvin Tomlinson. Like, how stupid can you be to want 3-4 defensive ends in a 3-4 scheme? So who gonna rush the passer? We bring back Dalvin Tomlinson and Leonard Williams. Who gonna rush the passer? And then we're gonna lose every fourth quarter because we can't get quarterbacks off the field on 3rd down because we can't hit them. Duh.
Shout out to Evan Ingram for the $5 super chat. He says, trade Leo, sign Riddick, Van Noy, Dalvin, go offense first 2 rounds, but no bust Pitts or bust Fryme. What you guys think? What would you think about that?
That's another one. Van Noy. That's another guy. Once again, Hub, we need money to have options. I forgot all about Kyle Van Noy. That's another guy I would love to have on the Giants. We could sign Kyle Van Noy and Matthew Judon for the amount of money that we about to get Leonard Williams.
Yo, why'd you like Matthew Judon so much, bro? Judon's not the answer. I'm telling you right now.
He had an okay year last year, but before that, the guy was a dominant. He dominant. And my thing is,
take it from the Ravens fan who saw him his entire career, bro. His entire career.
Yeah, but at the same time, I give you an example though. You love Sterling Shepard and I don't. What if some dude came on? What if some, I don't know, an Eagle fan is doing a live stream and says, my guy Fisk Vegas who covers the Giants says Sterling Shepard is trash. You can't always go off that. Some people
I agree with you, but the thing is, I love Sterling as a second wide receiver. When we were me and Engraven were talking about Matt Judon, we were saying, yo, is he the guy? Can he do the job by himself as a number one edge rusher? And Engraven was like, no, he's gonna need help.
But it's not about him being a number one edge rusher. He's Kyle Van Noy. They can hit the passer, but they're good at covering too. That's the thing. It's not just it's not Bud Dupree, which is put your head down, go get the quarterback. It's not Von Miller, put your head down, go get the quarterback. These are guys that you could put on a tight end, something we can't guard because Blake Martinez don't guard tight ends. So it's like Van Noy and Judon can also cover. That's
the reason I want Van Noy, bro, is so that he could rotate that second middle linebacker position. I think if we rotate him into the second middle linebacker position, we're gonna be good. Yeah,
Judon could play both positions as well. That's what I'm saying. Is like, we get those guys, are we gonna have the best pass rush hub? No, but we gonna cover. Look how they just won the Super Bowl. They covered Travis Kelce because they had Levante David and Devin White.
I mean, they also had Shaq Barrett and JPP.
Yeah, they hitting the quarterback.
Yeah, they were hitting him all day. I will say that. But going back to the first thing you said, Bud Dupree is the guy I want so much. I don't know. He's kind of fell off the radar. I don't know what's happened. Nobody's talking about him.
He's coming off ACL.
Even then, though, it's like he's, in my opinion, the best edge rusher out there right now. That might be a hot take, but I think he's better than Shaq Barrett.
He might be better than Shaq. Well, when he's fully healthy, he dominates the run game too. So I say, yeah, Bud Dupree overall is probably the best one because he'll dominate in the run game as well.
So it doesn't make sense to me, even with the ACL, that no media is talking about him. Not even the Steelers are talking anything about him. So he's definitely going to hit free agency because I don't think they're going to franchise tag him. And would you
afford him?
And real quick, because Nikki asked this question, and I know Nikki from this flexing emoji right here. She's a fan of you, Fisk. She says, "What do you guys think about the Dak Prescott contract?"
Oh, I loved it. I actually thought Dak was stupid for taking it, but I love it. At the end of the day, it's his turn. He deserves his money, but he's stupid. Let me tell you why he's stupid. All he had to do was just play under the franchise tag one more season. He would have hit the open market. He would have been in the open market at the same time as Lamar gets his bag, Baker gets his bag, and Josh Allen gets his bag. He could have got a minimum of $45 to $50 million a year next season had he waited, because they weren't going to tag him for $50 million.
I always thought he should have just left the Cowboys. I don't think he's going to succeed in Dallas anymore.
Nah, they'll be 8-8 like always.
Their defense is still going to be hot garbage.
It don't matter. I'm going to try and tell Giants fans this. Y'all keep talking about how bad their defense is. Have you seen their offense? Have you seen their offense?
Have you seen Ezekiel Elliott? Zeke Elliott is not what he used to be.
Don't matter. You see the receiving core? And they're probably going to draft Kyle Pitts.
That's a talented. They not drafting Kyle Pitts, bro. They definitely because of the fact that they can't do anything about their defense in free agency. They're going corner or edge at 10th.
Keep thinking that. We all thought they were taking Xavier McKinney last year, and they took CeeDee Lamb. So keep thinking that.
You really think they're about to now have basically the best receiving option in the NFL?
I'll bet you $10 right now. We can cash app it to each other. If Kyle Pitts is there at 10, they're taking Kyle Pitts. I bet you $10 right now. They will not.
Now, you know what? We're going to do something better. You know what they do in Undisputed?
What?
The case of do. How much is a case of do? Let me look this up real quick.
Like $3.99.
Oh, what? That's what they be paying on Undisputed, bro?
Well, they're rich. They can't. In order for them to bet an amount of money that matters to them, Skip Bayless just sound like a $30 million contract. They'd have to literally be betting $50,000 a bet for it to actually matter to them. So what you gonna
I
do?
then bet. I'll take on your bet then. I'll take on your bet.
Now,
I'll take on
here's the thing. I avoid the bet if he's not. They have to pass on him. He has to be there at 10.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. The bet is only valid if he's there at 10.
Like he has to be. Yeah, that makes complete sense. He has to be available.
It has to be
for
available.
them. Yeah.
You really think Jerry Jones gonna pass on Cop? Oh.
Listen, Jerry Jones. The fact that he gave this man Dak basically $75 million 1 year just tells me that Jerry Jones. I don't know what he's thinking. That's a lot. What do you think about that?
No. I think he got away with it. Jerry got away with it because he knew for a fact that if he didn't take care of him now, he would. Bro, Josh Allen's getting $50 million a year next year. Lamar gonna get around 50 million because here's the thing. Dak, we thought he was crazy when he said he wanted Mahomes money. When Lamar asked for Mahomes money, he not crazy. When Josh Allen asked for Mahomes money, he not crazy. So if Mahomes is at 45, Lamar's going to get more than 45 and Josh Allen's going to get more than 45. We got to wait to see what Baker Mayfield does. If Baker Mayfield take them back to the playoffs, he getting more than $45 million.
I think Baker Mayfield, as of right now, is lined up for that.
Not over one good season. He got to do it again. He got to do it
again. For you, he has to do it again?
Because, bro, look how long.
So I'll ask you this. Why don't you say that about Josh Allen? Josh Allen had one good season, too.
Nah, but the thing is, Josh Allen, because here's the thing. The difference between Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen is Josh Allen's good season was transcending. It wasn't play action. It wasn't rough. It was, bro, they literally could have went undefeated if it weren't for Kansas City. Like, they were that good. They were really like a 14-15 win team. And on top of that, the difference between Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield is this too, Hub. Josh Allen's also been to the playoffs before. That was his second year in the playoffs. Remember what I just said? Baker got to do it again. So they know Josh Allen.
When was he in the playoffs before? Was it last year?
Remember he had that stupid fumble versus
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's different. It's one thing when you have one good season, okay, whatever. But Josh Allen, that's back-to-back playoff bursts. And on top of that, really, it's your turn to run the AFC East. You really think they're gonna mess that apple cart up? Please.
I mean, it's the Bills, bro.
Exactly. So they're gonna pay him because he all they got.
I'm just saying, like you asked if they could definitely mess it up, man. It's the Bills. Real quick, let me get to Joe Yada. He says, I said that on stream and you guys said no to the pre-online. Well, Fisk wasn't here, but I said it, and I'm gonna eat crow. I got no shame in admitting when I'm wrong. The whole reason at that point I was like, I don't want Dupree is because I thought he would be too much money and I didn't think he was gonna recover well. Since then, because he's not being talked about that much, I know he's not gonna get as much as I thought he was before. And two, his recovery is just going really good from what I've been hearing from mad reports and whatnot. So, I was wrong about that. I got no shame and I admitted that. Bobby Murphy, who's an Eagles fan, says Dak will be crying in a few years about having no good talent around him because they overpaid him. What do you think about this?
What? No. See, y'all like...
This is the Eagles fan, remember.
But y'all don't understand y'all don't understand. So here's what y'all have to understand. CeeDee Lamb on a rookie contract. Michael Gallup is still on a rookie contract. And Amari Cooper's on a max deal. Zeke is on a max deal. They're about to draft Kyle Pitts.
And is DeMarcus on a max deal too?
Yep. The whole, and this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Y'all keep saying Dallas need defense. No, they don't. They need to play better. DeMarcus Lawrence is on a max contract. Jalen Smith is on a max contract.
Oh, here's the thing, though. I heard they might let Jalen Smith walk.
They let Jalen Smith walk. We need to go get him. Put on that to Blake Martinez. Next season when we got the cap money, though. Next season.
So, I was going to ask you about that linebacking core because that's been really the big topic about the Dallas defense. Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, and I feel like there's a third person I'm forgetting, the guy that retired and whatnot. If they let one of these linebackers go on, you're still saying to yourself that defense got the talent. They just need to play better. It doesn't
matter when you can put up 30. It don't matter. Y'all keep worrying about their defense. I don't care about their defense. I care about the fact that they can put up 30 points a game. That's what I care about.
So you don't see any way that offense could crumble?
No, Dak was leading the league in passing yards before he.
Bro, the only reason I'm saying this right now, and I think there's a chance that the offense could crumble, and maybe it's just my Cowboys hate inside of me as a Giants fan. Maybe it's that, but Zeke looked so bad last year. Like he really looked like he
No,
fell
he
off.
looked
I feel
bad.
like that's gonna do something.
He looked bad when Dak got hurt. When Dak was healthy, he was balling, putting up 20 fantasy points a week. Yards, touchdowns, catches. It's when Dak got hurt, he started sucking. Hub.
And what about their O-line? Their
Here's the
O-line
thing,
was
Hub.
bad last year too.
Here's the thing, Hub. You're not understanding. I'm not saying they're going to win 10 games in the division. I'm saying that offense is still going to be top 5.
I agree with you. The offense is going to be top 5, but now, so you got that. I agree with that. The offense, because it was top 5, but when Dak was,
I'm not saying
healthy,
it's going
right?
to win games. I'm not disagreeing about your defense thing. I'm just saying people who think the Cowboys aren't going to be a 500 team are crazy. They're going to have a top 5.
That's what I'm trying to say right now. I don't think they're going to be 500 because there's still so many things there. Like you could have that top 5 offense, and I think they're going to win 6 games, bro.
Let me think. What's this? They got a third place schedule. So yeah, they'll be all right.
And Afghanistan says Dak is going to be in a world of hurt without a top 3 O-line and bad defense. Dallas better fix him up so that he has a snowball's chance in hell of winning with him under center.
Yeah, Dak or her. Okay, I take that back. That'd be the only thing that can make the offense crumble, because normally when quarterbacks come off ACL surgery, they normally need a year to get right. So that could hinder them. Because normally when you come off that ACL surgery, you don't look like yourself until the following season, not the next season, but the following season. So that could hurt.
And the whole thing for me on Dallas is that I think they're still going to have a great offense. The reason I don't think they're going to be 500 is the O-line, which has been bad. Zeke, maybe it was just 1 year. Maybe it was because Dak was out. And the defense, which you already disagreed with. But at least those 2 things on the offense, O-line and Zeke, is something you got to keep your eye on. Because he's always had a great O-line when he performs.
Hub, you've been a Giants fan for too long. You're missing the point. Offensive line doesn't matter. We get that much firepower. It don't matter.
What happened in the Super Bowl then?
No, they had 3 backups on it. That's completely different. I'm not saying you can win with backups. They had 3 backups. They lost both tackles and their starting guard. That's different. That's an extreme situation. But let's call a spade here. Peyton Manning in Indianapolis had a left tackle and a center. That's it. He didn't have 5 Pro Bowl linemen. You know what I'm saying? All Brady offensive linemen suck. Trent Brown sucked in Vegas. Nate Solder sucked with us. They just had a good offensive line coach in Skarnecchia. So people just keep overrating offensive line. I'm like, bro, get a good coach, get a good blocking scheme, and figure it out. Go ahead. And another thing, if you know your offensive line sucks, then call more max protection sets. You shouldn't be sending out 5 wide receivers. It should be 3 people running routes. Tight ends need to be chipping. Running backs need to be chipping out the backfield. You shouldn't be. There's ways to cover up a bad offensive line if you know what you're doing. There's ways.
The best thing you said right there that I completely agree with was the coaching thing, which is why when the Giants, they brought back their old offensive line coach who built the 07 and 11 line, Pat Flaherty. They brought him back to be offensive line consultant and whatnot. I got a lot of confidence right now, despite whoever we bring in, or if we're just rolling with the 7 guys that we got right now. I have confidence in the O-line because I completely agree with the fact that coaching has a lot to do with it. I don't know if you know you know about the Pat Flaherty stuff.
No.
So basically, he was the coach here when we had like the elite O-lines for Eli back in like 07. We brought him back to overlook this current O-line that we're building. So taking what you said about basically the coaching matters, do you think that's a good sign for us?
Yes, coaching matters. Look at what Joe Judge did for the offensive line. I mean, Joe Judge took over, and then all of a sudden, the offensive line got better because he took a hands-on approach. So, once again, coaching matters. It's all about coaching.
Guys, toss your questions in there. One other thing, since Bobby Murphy is in here, and Bobby Murphy, I love Bobby Murphy because he tunes into every one of my streams, and I don't know why, because he's an Eagles fan, but I appreciate it. But Bobby, your team is rolling with Jalen Hurts. What do you think about that? Them basically committing to Hurts for this next season right here, instead of they're at the 6th pick and they could really take a quarterback, in my opinion.
I'm nervous. I want them to take a quarterback because I'm scared of Jalen Hurts. I'm terrified of Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I'm terrified of him. So I was hoping that they took a quarterback and kind of like ruin Jalen Hurts because I'm terrified of that kid. I know what I
You think
thought.
he could develop into something?
Yes, Jalen Hurts is a problem. It ain't his fault. We was rooting for him that week 17.
We were, yeah.
And we saw how good he was. It's not his fault. Dudes dropped the ball. Ain't his fault. It was like 5 drops in the 3 quarters he played. I mean, he was running out the pocket, making plays, and Rhaegar and whoever them third stringers were just couldn't catch.
And the Hurts thing, the reason I wanted him to take a quarterback, I'll be honest with you, is because that means that not necessarily brought up a good point and messes up Jalen Hurts, of course it does, is because for me, if they took a quarterback, that means they're essentially like delaying themselves for when they're trying to compete, because they're going to be start rebuilding from scratch, which they're going to do anyway, because they have like one of the worst cap situations in the entire league. But I really wanted them to take that guy, Trey Lance, because it would have been hilarious to replace Carson Wentz with another North Dakota State quarterback. That would have been absolutely hilarious to me. You leave Carson Wentz, or you trade him to get his successor basically at his college. That's hilarious.
Look, man. The Giants fans have to understand is it's never going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. Philly's always going to be competent. Washington's always going to be competent.
And Washington has $45 million cap space right now.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna do nothing with it. It's more of a situation. It's just like what at best they go get some people on defense. There's no quarterbacks for them to go get. They have to trade for a quarterback.
For Washington?
Yeah, there's no quarterback on the market for them to go get. They have to trade for a quarterback. So wake me up when they get Deshaun Watson or something. Then wake me up. But even if they get Sam Darnold, you think I'm gonna lose sleep because they got Sam Darnold?
Nah. Who you know who I do think they could get though? I think that they could be somebody to get Kenny Galladay. I haven't seen that connection being made, but Washington could definitely use Kenny Galladay. What happened?
Think I'm gonna lose sleep if they get Kenny Galladay? They ain't got no quarterback.
Bro, if you throw an average quarterback in that Washington situation, man, with that O-line, and if you have Kenny Galladay and Scary Terry and Cam Sims, I think an average quarterback could be good in there.
We just wasted 10 minutes on the Cowboys. Did you see Ben DiNucci? Did you see what happened when he took over?
Is Ben DiNucci an average quarterback, though?
I can't tell. I mean, I'm just saying, I can't tell. I'm just saying, like, y'all got to understand. It don't matter how much talent you got. Bro, Alex Smith is the epitome of average. He couldn't do nothing with Tyreek Hill.
It was Alex Smith on 0 legs, man.
No, I'm talking about in his prime. I'm just going to give you an example. Alex Smith in his prime had Travis Kelce. He had Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill learned to run routes. That was just Tyreek Hill on the go.
Tyreek Hill been the same player his whole career. The only difference is Mahomes bombed him the ball.
Tyreek Hill learned to run routes from his rookie year to now.
No, he runs better routes because now he has a quarterback. But at the end of the day, if Mahomes was his quarterback 5 years ago, he would have been going to Pro Bowls 5 years ago. Alex Smith didn't push the ball.
I think we may have some other franchise tag news here. If Logan is telling the truth, he's saying that the Saints just franchise tagged Marcus Williams. Yeah, that's true from Ian Rappaport, the safety. Yo, where did the Saints got this money from? Because they have the least amount of cap in the NFL.
I don't know. No. Remember, they have to make the money. Same thing with the Giants. The Giants don't have cap for Leonard Williams either. I think they have a couple days to get it.
The Saints are like negative $100 million cap, bro. How you making that money?
Yo, the Saints, like, I have a running joke.
Who are you cutting, bro?
They can't listen. I don't know. In my last Saints video, I said I don't know. They need to bring in like an independent contractor to work their cap out. Like, I don't know. Hub. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. They've already redone Breeze and Cam Jordan and Michael Thomas. They've already restructured them. And
Breeze didn't retire yet, right? Did Breeze retire yet?
Nope.
He didn't retire yet. Yo, that's stupid.
The Eagles ain't got no cap money either, man. There's a couple teams like that.
You know who else? Who should have retired, didn't retire, came back? What's his name? Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger.
Nah, he can't go out losing. He can't go out like that.
But tell me not. He is not good anymore. He's trash.
He's not good anymore. But on general principle, your last game can't be a blowout to the Browns. On general principle.
Do you think that's why Brees came back? He's like, he wanted my last game to be a win or something?
No, it's not about being a win. It's just like, bro,
you got embarrassed.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Roethlisberger. As far as
Big Ben got absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah, Big Ben can't go out like that because here's the thing: it's like if you're Drew Brees, okay, I lost to Tom Brady, big deal. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers have owned the Browns for like 20 years, so it's one of those situations where it's just like my last game ain't gonna be no blowout to the Browns. That's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? See, us in the NFC East, we're always competitive, so we don't have a Cleveland or Jacksonville in our division who just easy wins every year. So we don't know what it's like to just like bully a team for 30 years and like.
I mean, we've been bullying Washington for a minute.
Yeah, but they're competitive though. It's not like we go. It's not like we play Washington and say, "Oh, we about to win by 20." I mean, Steelers fans don't even take the Browns serious. It's like, I just expect. Why can't we have a Jacksonville or Cleveland in our division now that I think about it?
But, bro, you said it yourself, the NFC East, no matter how bad we are, is too competitive.
Yeah, it's like no matter how, like, the more I talk about it, the more I get jealous. We don't got no Miami Dolphins or Buffalo Bill. Well, what they used to be. We don't got like no trash teams in our division.
No, like you said, no Jacksonville, no Houston, because Houston's about to be trash for a minute.
No, they're not. They're not getting rid of Watson.
They not getting rid of Watson?
No, they're not even taking calls.
Oh, okay. This is new because everybody, including myself, I was like, "There's no way Watson's staying there because he wants out so bad."
Yeah, but he don't have a choice. See, what you have to understand is this:
Do you think there's a chance he sits out?
Nope. Because what you have to understand is this: when you look at the situations like Russell Wilson, the reason why Russell Wilson can possibly get moved is because Pete Carroll calls the shots, and Pete Carroll don't like him. So, and Russell Wilson's been there for what, 10 years now? It's completely different when you got a 24-year-old quarterback whose extension hasn't even kicked in yet. Mm-hmm. Oh no, you ain't going nowhere. I own you for 6 years. You can retire. You can hate me. You can go talk on ESPN. You can do whatever it is you feel like doing with the rest of your young little life. But the next time you throw a football, it's going to be for me or nobody else.
What do you think it's going to take for Houston to say we are going to trade you?
I mean, they would have to like one of them quarterbacks because the Jets have the second pick and the Dolphins have the third pick. So they would have to like one of those quarterbacks. And
Houston, they don't have a first rounder, right?
Nope.
Because that's Dolphins pick, right? The third pick.
I think so. I think it's the Dolphins.
They would have been in prime position if they didn't trade that pick to get a quarterback. If you got, they wanted to trade Watson.
Yeah, but when you have Deshaun Watson, you don't expect to win 4 games, which is why I think he's somewhat overrated. But that's another discussion.
And so, are you coming back around to that? Because at one point you were on the Texans side, then you were on Watson's side. Are you back on the Texans side, or are you still on Watson's side?
I'm on nobody's side. I'm just giving an opinion. Okay. I'm not taking sides in the situation because their front office is racist, and I think Deshaun is
100%. 100%. The dude said you can't have the prisoners running the prison cell or something like that.
Exactly. So my whole thing is I think the front office is racist, and I think Deshaun Watson is a quitter. So I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just giving my opinion.
And do you think Russell Wilson's a quitter or not? Because he's getting paid that money.
He won them a Super Bowl, went to a second Super Bowl, and Pete Carroll blew it, and he gave them 10 years of service.
Pete Carroll should have been fired like 2-3 years ago.
So my whole thing is, look, same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Once you've given a team all of your prime and you won out, that's different. Mm-hmm. You bought them a Super Bowl. You won MVPs if you're Aaron Rodgers. If you're Russell Wilson, you've done all you can do. So if I want out because y'all can't get y'all stuff together, I can respect that. But Deshaun ain't done nothing. Where's his MVPs at? Where's his Super Bowls at? What has he done? You're a quitter. You haven't earned the right to go to the owner and say, hire this guy. You just won 4 games, Deshaun. Why do I care what you think?
Yo, now that I think about it, Daniel Jones won 2 more games than Deshaun.
I've been said that. Jameis Winston won 3 more games than Deshaun, and he's a backup.
And I want to say this on Jameis, kind of unrelated, but we talked about Breeze earlier. Another reason I don't like Breeze coming back is because like I couldn't wait to see Jameis take over for the Saints, but now that's not going to happen for a while.
Breeze ain't coming back, bro. He's not coming back.
Why
Jameis
he taking this long to retire?
Because Breeze is an attention whore. He's gonna wait till free agency and the draft is over. He gonna retire in like June.
And shout out to Assorted Fruits. He lives in Seattle. He says Pete Carroll should have been fired in 2016.
Yeah, pretty much. Pete Carroll, like, he ruined the offense this year. The offense was like the number one offense in the league, and then all of a sudden Pete Carroll started running the ball again. So, it's just a situation where
I'm gonna tell you this as well. Seattle didn't look the same after the Giants beat them. Yo, maybe I'm too much of a big Giants guy, but listen, man, the Giants beat them and they weren't the same.
Nah. They never recovered. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Rams.
Steelers in Washington. Oh,
the Rams never recovered after the Jets.
And Steelers in Washington too.
Yeah,
Steelers never recovered after they lost to Washington.
The only reason why I don't bring up the Steelers is because I think the injuries just killed the Steelers, bro. Bud Dupree, Devin Bush, they lost their defensive tackle. I just think what went wrong with the Steelers is just the injuries. Deontay Johnson in and out the lineup. James Conner didn't play for like a month. I mean, I really just think it was injuries that caught the Steelers. I don't necessarily think Washington beating them kind of like, it really wasn't that. I just think when you're 11-0 and you finally lose a game, it just takes you. I don't know. I don't think it was Washington though. I don't, because of I don't think it was Washington, especially since Washington did go on to win the division. It's not like they lost to a garbage team. The Jets were what, 0-12? And with the Giants, when the Giants beat the Seattle, we had that was like our fourth win. So that's I don't know.
Blizz has to say this to you about Deshaun. He says Deshaun is asking out from the same team that traded away his best and top 3 wide receiver in the league.
Okay, and he got replaced with Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb. You don't lead the league in passing if you have trash receivers. Ask Giants fans. Evan Ingram and Slayton can't catch. You can't lead the league in passing yards if you have trash receivers. I'm tired of people acting like Deshaun Watson ain't got no help. Hub, am I right or wrong?
No, I agree with that part. I think it's overblown how bad the receiving core of Houston was. They had some good receivers. I'll say that they were good receivers. They're not, what's his name? Hopkins, obviously. They're not Hopkins, but they had good receivers.
But my thing is,
he led the league in passing yards with those good receivers.
This was the fourth team that Brandon Cooks led in receiving yards. He's led the Saints, the Patriots, the Rams, and now the Texans in receiving yards. Everywhere Brandon Cooks go, he get 1,000 yards. He's a walking 1,000 yards.
And by the way, Evan Ingram in the chat says it's capped that he is a good receiver. We got Evan Ingram in here.
Well, go be a good receiver for somebody else. Get off the Giants.
But guys, I'm gonna end it there because I only had an hour today. I'll be back live tonight at 9:30 for the weekly call-in show. Shout out to Fisk for coming on. Remember, guys, he has Fisk Vegas Blue, General Fisk, and is it still called Fisk Vegas Reacts or is it called something else?
Yeah. All 3 of my channels. Just if it say Fisk Vegas, just sub to it. How about that?
Exactly. There you go, guys. Go over there, check him out. Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5 super chat. He says, "Hub, I'm out for a bit. Is there still a call-in tonight? I'm about to take a walk, enjoying the 67-degree day." Yeah, yesterday it was like 20, and now it's like 50 or 60 outside. It's crazy. But yeah, like I said, call-in show tonight, 9:30. Fisk, thank you for coming on, man.
Hey, anytime, Good to talk to you.
No problem.